We live in a small space and we do the best that we can with it. So in this video I'm going to show you how to very easily make these space-saving stairs out of 2 recycled wooden beams and a few shelves of pine wood. Now, is this stair perfect? And the answer is no. But there is a very interesting relationship between effort and reward. So as you start applying some effort, in the beginning there is very little reward, there is very little to show for your effort and your time. As you push through a certain boundary, the reward starts shooting through the ceiling. So you get a lot more for your time and effort invested into something. And then past a certain point, the reward starts getting, smaller in the way it comes back to you, but you get, in the perfectionist stage. In these 3 stages, they represent 3 different types of people. So the first one is where people that never push through enough to get anything done. So you are a couch potato, you watch Netflix, you like or you would like to do something, but you actually never get to do anything because you never push through that boundary. So you get very little effort and very little reward. The second stage, where you apply some level of effort and you get quite a lot of rewards, this is where most of the do-it-yourselfers are. So that's where we are. We are not getting something that is incredibly perfect or incredibly rewarding, but it doesn't require a tremendous amount of effort. The final stage is for professionals or perfectionists. This is when you invest so much time that the outcome is just, perfection. So slowly, as you increase the amount of time and effort that you put into something, you get slowly better and better and better. Now, most of us are here. This is where we get most of our bang for our money, and this is why this stair is not perfect, because it's going to be used by a 7-year-old child, and there is no point on me investing 50 hours making this stair completely perfect. I only invest the amount of time that gives me and my son the biggest reward for our effort. So I hope you enjoy the video, and let me know in the comments what you think. Cheers! The first step was to pick up some shelves of pine wood that I had from a different project. So I'm going to be reusing wood. I did not have to buy any materials, and I marked to cut them up to size. So I think I built a stair about 50 centimeters wide or so. I like using the track saw because it gives me very clean cuts, and I only wish I had a smaller track because, this one is huge as hell. Since I know how many steps I need, I will just cut all the steps in one go. You notice that I use the vacuum cleaner extensively, and that's because I really hate sawdust. Once I had the steps cut at the right width, then I made the design on the stock, which is basically a half cut with a bit of an angle, so that you can put your feet up, in a sequence. First left, then right, then left, and so on. This was the first test, so I did the big cut with a track saw, and I used a Japanese saw to finish the cut and get a very smooth surface. So that will be the first step, and the next one will be just a mirror image of that one. Once I was happy with it, I marked the rest of the stock so I could cut everything in one single sort of step with the track saw, and I didn't have to go, switching tools all the time. I made sure to make 3 steps of one type and 2 of the mirror type, because otherwise it would just be a very silly stair. Just to really not time at all, and in just a couple of minutes I had all the steps with the main cuts done, and only cutting with a handsaw was missing. I really like these Japanese saws. They give you a very nice surface and they're very easy to use. Well, most of the time anyways. So there I had it. All my steps were now cut, and as you can see on the background, they're sort of alternating. So one right, one left, one right, one left. Now the track saw and the Japanese saw leave a very straight edge and very flat, but since this is going to be used by a child, I wanted it to have a bit of round edge, so that there will be less chance of, you know, injury. So I used a router with a rounding bit, and I just did both sides with not too big of a curve, I think around 4 or 5 millimeters, and I did both ends so that it would look smooth. You can see on this step how the wood looks like it's been, you know, sunbathing, but it's not. It's just a recycled piece of pine wood. You can see that these pieces have also not been flattened, so I could have you know, flattened them to make them completely straight, but again I thought that for the application that I'm going to be giving them, there was no need to spend the time or the effort in making them flat. I really like this Makita router, only I wish it would collect a bit better the sawdust, because even though I have a pretty powerful vacuum cleaner, all the sawdust which is coming through the bottom and making everything absolutely disgusting. If you're wondering why am I working with my coat on, the answer is very simple. It was about 3 degrees Celsius and it was cold as hell. This particular piece of wood I got about 12 years ago, and I've used it already for I think 3 different projects. And it was used originally as a beam to put under machinery on a construction site, but I salvaged them and I first made a TV stand, then I put the TV on the wall, so I had no use for it, so I made the first stairs prototype, and now I'm using it yet one more time to build another stairs. So lots of time recycling this particular piece. Now this step was perhaps unnecessary, but I wanted the steps to have a very good surface and very good to be nicely attached to the frame. So I decided to carve a little channel so that the steps would rest on it. Now there were a couple of challenges. So the first one is that, oh, you're sleepy. Hello. All right. Shall we go on? All right, very good. So there were 2 challenges on this. The first one is that because the steps were not flattened, the channel will be completely flat, but the steps will be slightly curved. So the fitting will not be absolutely perfect, but that's not a big deal. The second channel is that it was so freaking cold that my brain was not working very nicely. So basically I had to recalculate and reposition the freaking guide for the router only 59 times before I got the measurements right. So yeah, 59 times, it was pretty horrible. As you can see, the first one was way off, it didn't fit, so I had to mark again, and then measure again, mark again. And if you would pay a bit more attention here, you would see how I was making a very stupid mistake. I was measuring the distance between the center and the outer side of the edge, and then I was measuring this on the edge of the frame. But you stupid moron, it needs to be perpendicular to the track, not, you know, on the edge. Ha! There you realize you're a moron. You've been measuring the wrong the whole time. And now I realize, and everything was just nice and peachy. So, there you go. First track is done. It fits nice and easy. Well, almost. And I only had 9 more to go. But once I figured it out, it was not difficult, just a bit of a struggle, and you know, that's it. I think at this point my camera was about to die out of pure cold, so I only recorded about one side of these channels, but you know, it's just the same. Just do this over and over again until your fingers are frozen and the stairs are finished. I fixed the steps to the frame with very long bolts, and I did not even use glue because, you know, it's just for a child, but you know, 2 bolts, very long, I think 60 millimeters, they can withstand probably a couple 100 kilos without flinching. So no need to overdo it when you can be quick and easy. So that's it. That's what it looks like on the workshop, and you've already seen what it looks installed. So I hope you liked it, and if you didn't, then go ahead and troll the hell out of me. Cheers!